Yahweh, Yahweh, yo, Molech, get over here, bow to the Lord. I'm the OG Skyfire tyrant that wholesome parents adore. I split seas, drop plagues, and angels on tours. You're a bargain, been bought out with a furnace that roars. You think you kill babies? Boy, you better sit down. I smoked every firstborn in the whole freaking town. Egypt woke up the cribs colder than pyramid stone. That was my flex, punk. I invented the drone, then I told it Israel. When we enter Canaan, no survivors, not even strollers, no explaining. I did what you do, plus genocide mode. And I still get worship songs, TED Talks, and upvotes. Sonically, I kill more of the kids than I said I wanted to say. But as Satan would say, there ain't no shame in being depraved. Could've repeated, said Molech ain't too befit, and showed them baby burning ain't how I get paid. But hey, weird. Hold up. So you torch whole nations and call me the creep? At least I never lied about what I wanna eat. My followers gave kids because that's what I decreed. Divine command theory, G, how would they know the good don't abide in me? Yeah. You punish Canaanites for obeying their deity, while telling Abraham, hey, do the same thing as me. He lifts the knife up, you clap and you bless it. But when Canaan does it, you rage and suppress it. Tell me how that's fair, how's that logic even work? You're the cosmic judge, jury, executioner, jerk. And don't get me started on your New Testament kid. Jesus out here blaming crowds for stuff they never did. You murdered prophets, bro, that's centuries apart. That's guilt by ideology on maximum hard. But by your rule, Messiah's guilty too, cause he said if you were Abraham's kids, you do what they would do, which was lining up Isaac for ritual murder. Man, how that a class act? So Jesus praises the do with the child sacrifice stance. If intention equals murder, then congrats your son. Self on the Canaanite sin, lust and anger or thought crimes you still gotta believe in. Power. Don't question me, Molech. I'm a champ of the OT. I kill sinners, skeptics, livestock, and obedient fig trees. My brand's elite, genocide, artisan wrath. You're the Dollar Tree version to my sociopath.
Oh, look, it's Yahweh, Mr. Never Wrong with a Dream. First you ordered Israel's firstborn slain, just like an ancient Near Eastern king. Now you claim you hate sacrifice. Cute, that ain't the first thing you made Moses mean. You horrified your own people by them obeying what you once claimed to need. Pretend you never liked the rituals you helped plant and feed. 1 century you demanded, then Jeremiah claims to not know what it means. And decide you're the one and only God. Politically, big mighty God who laid empires, throws his own people into debris. A temple blown away, Jupiter's on his winning spree. Your Messiah's finally on the way, still can't save the day.
Gav, suddenly you're a pacifist geek. You ain't Buddha jackass. You racist or return butt cheeks because your promises turn out to be too weak. Third track.
Yeah, divine loopholes, I get his shtick. If morality is epigenetic, you Jacob stripe stick, sheep trick. But listen, Yahweh, a mic check required. My Canaanites were damned for land rights you let expire. That's selective genocide and holy war, be forever fire. You say I hate child sacrifice, but your pro-life resume reads like kills kids because Adam and Eve kills the billions unborn before they even can breathe.
Kills kids with the flood for being born enough for them. Or does a kid dead like a virtuous deed? Kills kids cause a Pharaoh's hard, he conceived. Kills kids through mass murder to stop sacrifice to the wrong team. Executes
kids in for family size.
Abandons 99 sheep to save one believer's ass, and then you brag, I ain't Molech, I'm a butt-ass stance. Nah, bro, you just Molech with billions of sycophants. Yo, move aside, warmongers, the Moabite God is in. I don't need a whole Pentateuch to get my snipe in. Just one sacrifice, one prince, one war, one cry, and Israel's armies no doubt on the fly. Let me set the scene, 2 Kings chapter 3. Your prophet Elisha strutting in so arrogantly, says
Yahweh's got this Moab sheep, the bag's ours. Or win this battle by divine superpower.
But then my king, in desperation and dread, offered his own heir. Boom! And you all fled. Your prophet predicted victory. Don't lose his head. Must have saw the tables turn and just whispered, well then, did Yahweh oppose me? Stop me, enforce what he said. Nope, he saw my holy rage and just quietly bled. He honoring polytheist convention, afraid of my power, or just too weak to override the Moabite ira. Tell the truth, Yahweh, when I got my wrath on you, I'm solo concreted. Your prophecy failed and armies retreated.
Chemosh kept Moab and Hebrews got defeated. So while you two argue who's the biggest baby burning fan, my man sacrifice turned a war into a rout like a damn God can.
So the word of God, enemies should steely both get it straight. Chemosh spent God's blood hard on that day. News flash!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We interrupt your regularly scheduled certainty to bring you a startling development from the world of ancient religion, dusty tablets, and academic footnotes longer than a winter night in Babylon. In a stunning, but carefully qualified turn of events, scholars report that the fearsome figure known as Molech may not be a rival god at all, but a theological decoy. That's right, folks, according to critical scholarship and archaeology, and by that we mean peer-reviewed debates, not Sunday sermons. Molech appears less like a historical deity and more like a retroactive label applied to a once tolerated sacrificial practice that later became, well, awkward.
It's been epics that we do not find a consistent mold. Mythology, iconography, or cult infrastructure. While we do find early Israelite texts wrestling with firstborn sacrifice, vows, and fire rites.
The implication that Molech, long blamed as the villain of child sacrifice, may have been constructed after the fact to distance Israel's god from earlier practices that no longer fit the brand.
Now let us be clear for viewers at home. No reputable scholar is announcing that Yahweh literally equals Molech in a comic book reveal. What is being argued
Vigorously is that Molech functions as a scapegoat name, allowing later writers to say,
that wasn't us.
that was them.
In other words, Molech may be less an ancient god and more a theological alibi, which I did not command, nor did it enter my mind. A line scholars note is usually written after someone thought it had.
Reactions have been swift, temple reformers approve. Archaeologists not cautiously in Sunday school. Flannel graphs remain unavailable for comment.
As always, we remind viewers, history is complicated. Gods evolve, and sometimes yesterday's acceptable ritual becomes today's heresy, with a brand new villain to take the fall.
This has been an
Whole world news flash. Tune in next time when we ask, was Baal really the problem? Or just better at rain?